Well, good to have you guys here on the eve of what apparently is a big trip to China.
Yes.
Let's talk about that first. What's happening in China?
Well, we're heading down tomorrow, and we're playing at the World Expo in Shanghai.
No kidding.
So, yeah, we get to perform at the Canadian Pavilion. I think there's 3 or 4 performances, so we'll be there for about 8 days and just try and take in as much of the city and culture as we can.
Have you been to China before?
Never. No. I don't think any of us have,
Yeah, you're going to find it pretty weird.
Yeah, that's what
I mean that in the best possible way, because you know, the more you go to China, the more you realize you don't understand China, and it is so big, and the people are so interesting, and the culture is so different from ours that you're going to have a fabulous time. And the other thing too is that they're finally being allowed to get into Western style music.
Right.
And I'm going to bet, who are you going to be playing for, by the way? Just whoever shows?
I think, yeah.
Just straight gigs.
From what we understand, it's just the idea of the expo is just to kind of bring different aspects of different cultures from different countries to mainland China for the Chinese.
Right.
So it's going to be most of them. So that's who we're playing to, basically. It's
that's going to be terrific.
Chinese.
Okay, before we get into the new album, Jay and I had a conversation earlier this year, and we talked about his solo album and about what happened with Bedouin leading up into 2010. A year ago or so, this was a band on the verge of just falling apart completely, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Just
probably.
Just burnout and fatigue and everything else?
Yeah, would that be a fair assessment?
Yeah, all those things, definitely, you know. It was just, I think, we just took a long time to really have time to address some of the things that maybe we didn't like about how we were rolling. And it was definitely, you know, we came to a point where we just had to sit down and question what was worth doing.
And we got a new guy, Seiko. Now, you've been around for a while playing drums with a bunch of different people. Like who?
Thornley, Divine Brown, Julie Black, Socrates, Cardinal Pichal, 1 or 2 people.
Well, playing with Thornley, you got to know your stuff too.
Yeah, he's a beast. Yeah, for sure.
So the new album is Light the Horizon. It's a nice, tight album that sounds. It sounds like a band in recovery, you know, and I mean that in a positive way. There is a lot of optimism there, but there's something different about the sound of the recording. What is it?
King Brit.
Is it the production?
I think as well. With this record, there was, I mean, in terms of, we started, our band really started changing. I could pinpoint it probably to Warped Tour 05.
Yep.
And we were, I mean, the punk community was the first community to accept Bedouin Soundclash. And we started playing, I think we started playing harder, and we started needing to feel like we weren't, as if there wasn't enough with just 3, and we weren't as mellow anymore.
Right.
And I think on this record, especially after we cleaned the slate, it was okay for us to play soft. You know, we wanted to make. We were writing with totally being comfortable in our skin, and I think on the record it's a lot. It's not, I don't say darker, but it's definitely more mellow.
It is mellow. The textures are much more subtle, and the layering of sounds is done with great care. So if you listen to the album through headphones, you hear all these little things that you might not otherwise pick up.
Yeah. That's coming from a DJ. I mean, King Brit is a DJ producer. So exactly, when you listen, sometimes I would listen to it. At first, I wouldn't necessarily like some of the things, but that only happens once in the song. But that's not, you start to really realize, like King Brit has so much attention to detail that way, so yeah, like I think that's one of the great things about working with it.
Does it sound brighter? Is there a little bit more of a high end to it?
You know, I think it's definitely crisper sounding to me than some of the, you know, like in the past, I guess you could describe the sound as warm. I guess there was a lot of like muted, the bass was a lot thicker and things like that. And here there's a lot more attention paid to making sure that everything occupies its sonic space.
It's a nice quick album. It's done in just under 34 minutes. which is the trend these days. I mean, everybody, like, who sits down and listens to a single album or a single band for more than 45 minutes at a shot? It doesn't happen anymore. So Finger 11 was in here, and their new album is just over 32 minutes. So they're, you know, they would rather, they have 10 songs too, and they would rather give 10 great songs than, you know, 10 good songs and a couple of fillers.
Yeah.
So can we go through the record?
Yeah.
Song by song. First one is Mountaintop. I'll tell you what I listened to the album, made some notes.
Okay.
Okay. Mountaintop, a vaguely Clash-ish tune, somewhere between ska and reggae. And I quote a lyric: "Some things just lost their souls. Some things might just get old." Now, is that a reference to the burnout that led to the hiatus?
Yeah, that song is the first song we wrote for the record. And it's also in reference to the album cover, which is a small mountaintop in BC, where Vancouver Island, where I did a lot of the writing for my solo record, but we've also gone there to write a lot of Bedouin records. And when we got back from a tour in Japan, me and Eon sat underneath that tree, and you can see like Pacific Ocean out in front. We're just saying, you know, are we going to continue doing this? And we decided we were. And then we decided, okay, we're going to take a break for a while until it's right to do it. And Mountaintop was that idea that, okay, we're going to go back up and start getting back in the saddle. And yeah, like there's rain in Tokyo. I was referencing that tour, which was raining the whole entire time we were there. So, yeah, that's what it's about.
Track 2 is Fool's Tattoo, mid-tempo reggae punctuated with trumpet, trombone, and tenor sax horns.
Yeah? Yep.
Yeah, that gives you something of the dark mood of the Specials' Ghost Town.
Cool. Yeah, that's a big compliment. That's one of my favorite Special songs.
Yeah, it's definitely my favorite for sure.
All right. May You Be the Road. Lilting, almost medieval melody at times. Written in a major key, I think, but still manages to sound mournful. The Peter, Bjorn, John, and John whistling comes as a surprise before the flamenco-style crescendo before the ending.
Nice.
So what anything about that song that I missed?
No. It was, yeah, we were having fun with that one. Yeah, some people have called it, maybe that medieval thing is there's a bit of a Simon and Garfunkel kind of sound, someone said to it, with the melodies. Yeah.
Next track features Cour de Pirat. Cour de Pirat, thank you. I was talking to David Usher, and she appears on his album too. Where did you meet her? I never actually. The first I had ever heard of her was when I saw this. Saw her name on the album. So how did you hook up with her?
We were working on another project. Actually, she heard my solo record, and we were going back and forth. And we actually did a song together for the Olympics, which is where we first met. But we were working on another project, and she heard that song, and she's like, I want to sing on it. And it was the first song she'd sung in English. So, I mean, she's fluent in both, but it's like her first English song, I think. So, her voice just fit perfectly for it. She's got, for her age, has such a presence to how she sings, and has a real classic quality to it.
This is a cliche, but it sounds, when she sings, it sounds like she's an old soul.
She definitely is, actually, yeah. Yeah, she is an old soul. That's a great way to put it.
The cello was a nice touch, too.
Yeah, that was played, that's probably the last, I don't know if it'd be the last, not the last time, but Larry Gold actually played that when we were down at Philly. He's done a ton of string arrangements, and he usually never plays anymore, but he played cello on that.
Oh, nice. The fifth track is called Ilongo, which I think could be a single down the road. That's just me. Breezy intro leads into big overdub vocals with a giant hook and a lush string arrangement. You get to show off your versatility. Perhaps the most intricately produced Bedouin track to date. And I say it will work on a variety of radio formats, including softer ones.
Can we just do all interviews with you?
I know, I really like you.
Spot on everything.
Good,
Great, yeah.
good. Because you know, this was just one listen through the record, and I make notes as I go along, and I want to make sure that I'm not off base. So far so good.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Okay. Track 6, No One Moves, No One Gets Hurt. Quiet ukulele intro over some gentle sound effects, emotional, introspective, and delicate, and I can hear your voice crack in this song. With emotion.
Yeah.
It's a song about
Close.
Eon.
I think that might be true. Yeah, I wrote that song for Eon, and wrote for a bunch of people around us, for our manager too. It was sort of a song. If at a certain point we were like, okay, what's going to go wrong? He busted his knee, so playing soccer. Yeah. Anyways, so yeah, it's close to it's close to actually our like ethos of our label actually.
Yeah.
The Quick and the Dead. Short 2-minute song, bouncy yet subdued reggae intro with wind chimes adding to the atmosphere. With a chorus like, sing a song for the quick and the dead. It's not a very happy one.
Yeah, that's true.
No. We were going with the Western vibe on some of the songs. Maybe The Road had some of that too.
Well, there's a twangy guitar in the next one, Rolling Stone. Echoey guitar leads into a Marley-esque reggae rhythm that shifts into a chorus that has a vaguely Western feel. If you added 1,000,000 layers of production, this could be the foundation of a Muse song. Okay, maybe 2,000,000 layers. And the organ is a nice touch in this one too.
Yeah.
Nice, yeah.
Who's playing the organ?
Damien.
Damien Bennett, yeah.
Damien Bennett.
Dizzy
Yeah.
Fingers he'll play Mr. Dizzy Fingers in Philly.
King
He
had,
plays on everything.
King had access to some incredible musicians in Philly. So we had, you mentioned the string section, horn section, this great percussionist named Carlos, and then Dizzy, and like the ukulele guy as well. So just guys who just kind of came in, took 1 or 2 listens to the song, and just did what you heard on the album.
Now, why Philadelphia? I can't remember the last time I talked to a band who went and recorded an album in Philadelphia. Ever.
That's where King's from.
That's where King is. Philly's got a lot. I mean, there's a lot of soul in that city.
Oh yeah.
And King was like, come down there, and we always want to go to places to experience it, and he was like, said, come down and introduced all these musicians down there, and it totally affected the record. Yeah.
Track 9 is Chance of Rain. Bouncy, mid-tempo reggae start, mated with rim shots into a smooth chorus. Then the horns come in at just the right time, and then there's that organ again, followed by a slinky clavinet. Clavinet?
Yep.
Yes,
Yeah.
he
Okay.
did use a clavinet.
I'm not sure if this is a radio single, but I can see it being a fan favorite. And it's the first song that fades out rather than just ends.
Right, yeah.
Yeah.
You don't hear a lot of songs that fade anymore. Everybody ends songs on last chords or cold endings or something like that.
You know, it's funny. I was just down at King Britt's place over the weekend, and he can't. I think it's from being a DJ. If you're okay, we're gonna go now, like leave his apartment or something. He can't stop a song. He has to. He's like, okay,
I know.
all right, let's go now. You can't. He won't. He refuses to end a song, or else he has to dub it or something. He'll put on a delay effect and something. So I don't know. Maybe that was it.
And finally, there's Follow the Sun, which is, I think, the longest song on the record. It is, just by a few seconds. Dreamy opening sequence with lots of echo on Jay's vocals. Sounds great with headphones. And producer DJ King Britt programs the keyboards and offers up some tasty samples that enhance the mood. Nice way to end the record.
Yeah, hopefully a projection of some things to come from us in the future with King.
So, just under 34 minutes. Again, nice and tight. No fat, nothing wasted. I like the record a lot. I hope you do well with it.
Thank you. Yeah, thanks. a lot.
Have you picked a second single?
We have actually.
Oh, it's going to be longer.
Yeah.
Awesome.
What did I tell you?
You dialed it in.
It's real good.
Awesome. Well, good luck with China. And bottled water, make sure you check to make sure that the seal hasn't been broken before you take a swig.
Does that happen to you?
Yes, it has.
Oh.
Yeah, and with bad consequences. I don't know what I was drinking, but I only rented it for a very short period of time, if you know what I'm saying.
Oh, man.
I can imagine.
Okay.
And if you get a chance, go to the night market and have scorpions on a stick.
I think I saw that on Survivor Man a couple days ago.
Yeah, and get it right on the street.
It was good.
Not bad, a little
Safety's
crunchy.
definitely.
I'm probably not going to do that.
I'm gonna
I'll try. Yeah, why not?
Or you can have baby sparrows. That's also really kind of crunchy.
I'll go for the
Okay, all right.
scorpions first.
And stay away from shark fin soup. It's not a good idea to eat
Really?
shark fins. No, sharks are endangered. They just,
Yes.
Yeah, that's
I
just.
agree.
So that's just an environmental tip.
Yeah.
There's
Bring
lots of
down.
sparrows and scorpions.
Yeah.
Feel free. Well, thanks, guys.
Thanks a lot.
Yeah,
And
thanks
good
a
luck
lot.
with everything.
Thank you.
All right.
Explore Music wears English Laundry apparel.